Yo, what's going on, guys? Before you check out this video, I just want you to know if you're on Facebook or Instagram, make sure you check those out down here below because I'm constantly putting up content on those as well, if that's your platform. Enjoy the video.
I don't give a not even 2 meters. I turn up like Rudy.
Picked up Trey Wilton on the near side. He will go untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Commodores.
Like you got a clue. Why they out here catching?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Chris Pointer here. Overtime Athletes. Today's video that I wanted to do to support you guys was bringing my man Trey Wilton here. Obviously, I talked to you guys a lot about process and you know, how you need to be conducting yourself as an elite athlete, even if you're in high school. Trey is somebody who I feel like I bring in. He's somebody I truly respect as an athlete. He's one who's got to the highest level in his craft. He got to the NFL. He was an elite college Division I player. You know, he's somebody that we've had multiple conversations about, you know, developing that process in college and, you know, knowing what he knew then in high school, if there was anything that he could have done to improve his chances and to get to where he's at. So I'll kind of just turn it over to you, Trey, and if you can, man, if you could just kind of discuss some of the things that might support some of these guys when I talk about process. You know, I talk about a lot about these young kids. They're so focused on the outcome, you know, getting that D1 scholarship or getting to the NFL. And I don't think they realize sometimes until you actually get to the Division I level that you just develop this entire structure and process that's going to continue you on and get you better. I mean, that's why some guys really make that leap in college. Yeah. And as a high school athlete, I try to implement some of these things, but maybe I can just pick your brain, or you could share a couple things with these guys just to kind of show, you know, what that difference was like for you.
Yeah. I think if I could give my younger self advice, it would be more so in the standpoint of understanding how important consistency and discipline are. I was reading a book not too long ago, and it talks about more dangerous is a man that practices one kick for 1,000 days straight than a man who practices 1,000 kicks in one day.
Right.
So that consistency and that type of discipline, just kind of thinking back on it, I think what allowed me to, not just myself, but speaking for my peers and everything, as an elite athlete, what allowed me to separate myself is once I understood that I had a realistic chance at it, like this is something that I could be good at, I had to rearrange my priorities. So my decision-making process completely changed. You look at a lot of my friends in high school, and if you just play the numbers, for every high school freshman that plays high school football, 10% of those get a Division I scholarship.
Right.
Then if you look at every Division I athlete as a freshman, less than 1% of those make it to the NFL, whatever the
Very
statistical breakdown. But I think for me, once I realized that I had that opportunity to take my craft to that next platform, I could look around me and tell that, okay, I have that chance. I can't do what regular people are doing.
Right.
You always have to be cautious about allowing yourself to be consumed with the things that people who don't have as much to lose as you do are doing. So for me, it was understanding that I need to lock in. Like I can't be hanging out all the time with my friends because they don't have the opportunity in front of them that I have.
Right. That's very important.
So I took, I was the football version of a gym rat. Not necessarily from the weight room. I was always good in the weight room, but in terms of perfecting my craft, because I was never the fastest, I was never the strongest, I never jumped the highest, I was never the most physical, the most tall, the heaviest, whatever the case may be.
You had a lot of this.
But I had the discipline, and I committed to my craft. So where I couldn't excel necessarily athletic as some of my peers that were considered better than me, what I did better than them was on the field.
Right.
It was in the little things. It was in the intricacies of the game. So I think for me, understanding that that's what it was going to take, not necessarily, you know, I'm not saying cut your friends out. I'm not saying cut your friends out of your life. That's not what I'm saying. But just understand what you have at stake.
Yeah, priorities.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And then taking it to college, it was just more so of that. Like, so I went home after my freshman year, played a little bit my freshman year. The off season was more structured than it was in high school, of course. But then that summer break that you get to go home, it was kind of, I took care of myself. I worked out, I ate right, I came back, but I was out of shape. in comparison to the people who had been there all summer.
Right.
So the following off season, I said, I'm not going home. I'll take summer school classes, because I understood that I was in the same position I was in high school. The switch had flipped for me. So I knew that, you know, there's a realistic chance that I could do this.
Right.
And so I said, you know, I need to lock in, had the same approach. So after that, I never went home in the summers after my freshman year. So if you look at it from the standpoint, I was in school year round, but not so just because I needed to be there to work out, but that type of, like, being in that structure allowed me to really focus on everything.
So you immersed yourself in it.
Exactly.
So somebody who, you know, might have thought they had discipline, consistency like yourself, whereas like you had to structure, or you had to allow yourself to put yourself in a position where I immerse in. So it's almost like a conscious decision, like, hey, I'm just staying here purely. Obviously, you don't need to go to school. You were a pretty smart athlete, but it was more or less like, hey, I'll sacrifice me going home, hanging out with friends for me to be able to immerse myself, because I know I'm going to have that wake-up call. Exactly. I know I'm going to have to get on a training table. I know I'm going to have to get the right foods in.
Exactly.
And that's just basically immersing you basically, and this is the common thing that I'm always saying to you guys is, if you want to be at that elite level, you're making decisions to treat yourself like you're already at that elite level. And you hear it from Trey right now. He had to make a conscious decision, even though it's like some of you guys want to go home with your boys, go out on the weekends. It's fun to be able to get home, see your family, and you're in your comfort zone. He made a conscious decision to take himself out of that, and it paid dividends. I mean, by senior year, you broke some of the records and things of that nature as far as the NCAA goes, and school records as well that still uphold. So that's pretty awesome. I appreciate your time here, man. Always. And I hope that helps you guys start implementing into your workouts. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in becoming a better athlete, whether that be sprinting, jumping, strength, or overall looking like an athlete, go ahead and click the box here on my side and make sure that you subscribe to my videos here so I can keep sending them to you. Holler.